What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at the auction house in College Football Ultimate Team 25 and why I think today is a perfect day to be buying on the auction house instead of selling, right? Those are your two things you can do. You can be a buyer today. You can be a seller today. And I think today is absolutely a buyer's market. Now, I'm going to be talking specifically about why I believe that. And if you are new to the channel, man, please smash that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all of the recent support on the channel. So the new cards we saw today, we saw the kicker. Not going to spend a whole ton of time talking about him. We also did see Malcom Jenkins. We also did see the new Robert Griffin III. But more importantly, Quinnen Williams is being pulled a lot in packs. Darqueze Dennard is being pulled a lot in packs. Braylon Edwards is being pulled a lot in packs. And those are the cards today that I really would be looking at if I were you guys. For example, let's take a look at Darqueze Dennard. He's got 92 speed, one of the best zone cover corners in the entire game. And he's now, 100,000 coins? Which is an absolutely ridiculously cheap price to pay for Darqueze Dennard. You want to look, on the offensive side of the ball. Kenneth Walker, I haven't really talked about him. His price should go down. But more importantly, Braylon Edwards. And I want to spend some time talking about Braylon Edwards. I love this card at the wide receiver position. I think he's a top 5 wide receiver in the game. Is that a fair assessment for Braylon Edwards? Because here's the deal, here's the situation. He's got 91 speed. There's only, 7 wide receivers in the game with 91 speed, and he's better than Ryan Williams. He's better than a lot of those types of guys. Great route runner. In the open field, not great, but he's okay. To me, Braylon Edwards, I don't know about 230 because his price is going to continue to go down throughout today. But today, when his price settles, could be worth your time. And even this Malcom Jenkins for 66,000 coins is an absolute steal. And so throughout today, the auction house is going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper with the addition of the new Legends drop. And like I said with Kenneth Walker, I actually really like the card, but wait for his price to settle down to that 60,000 coins, which I do think the card is going to get to. Again, I like Kenneth Walker, but I do think that his price will get cheaper. Now, one thing I always consider when I make these auction house videos is the drop today. Is it a drop in which a lot of people are going to be opening packs or no? Now, I think this is kind of in the middle. It's not as hype of a drop as we saw on Friday. However, anytime Robert Griffin III is in a drop, you've got to talk about how the drop is going to, people are going to be opening packs. Now, again, Jameis Winston's going to be coming out of packs, so his price probably will go down as well. But I do believe, like with all these RG3s up, people are ripping enough packs for the auction house to see a significant drop. So even for myself, I didn't even end up selling my Quinnen Williams. Why? I mean, for me, like I've got a team chemistry on him. It's just a lot of work to, buy and sell all of those types of cards. But it's one of those things, like these are the cards that are going to go way down in price. Hunter Henry, again, throughout today, probably will continue to go down in price. And he's one of the best tight ends in the game. Like, look at his speed. Look at what the card does for you guys. He is one of the best tight ends in the game. So between Hunter Henry, Darqueze Dennard, Braylon Edwards, Jameis Winston, the list goes on and on for guys today that should see significant drops in prices that you guys can specifically target for your squad. Now, it's not just these cards. We can still go back to the Heisman hopefuls drops and talk about these cards, especially the quarterback position, considering we got another one, for their specific prices. We could talk about all of these cards that I personally like for their specific value. For example, Caleb Johnson for 130. He is one of the top running backs in the game. For that price, I don't hate it. Wide receiver position. Like I said, since Braylon Edwards' price is going to drop today, could be a good day to, if you want Ricky White still, buy him. If you want, any of these cards, you obviously can target picking them up because we won't see another Heisman hopefuls drop until Friday. So if you pick up any of these cards, the price of these cards is relatively safe. Same thing with Jabbar Muhammad. Same thing with Noah Williams. These are cards that I really do like, that I think can help your specific squad out. But it just comes down to the fact, you don't want to overspend for cards, but I do think that these cards, Jack Sawyer, Dylan Stewart, are pretty safe in price. So that's kind of what I would target if I were you guys. If you do want to build your squad, even, the Schmidt, even a guy, let's say like Cam Ward. These are guys like, if you want to pick them up, they are not bad values whatsoever. I do expect over the next couple of days, the market to go up. A group that I really wouldn't be buying a ton is these Rising the Ranks players. I do believe these cards are, becoming a little more rare, so their prices could, obviously they could rise for a little bit, but remember, those cards are going to come out again, or that now, not those cards, but that drop is going to happen again on Wednesday, so I'd be pretty careful with the rising the ranks players. But when it comes down to Heisman hopefuls, and especially Heisman moments, guys, today is a great day to be buying these cards because, like I said, Quinnen Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in the game. By the time you guys see this, his price should be down even more. Offensively, the list goes on and on. Hunter Henry, one of the best tight ends in the game, now below 70,000 coins. Braylon Edwards today might end up dropping below 200,000 coins, which for him is an absolute steal. So those are the types of guys that I would just keep an eye on. What are their prices? What are they ultimately going to settle for today? And is it worth buying? Because like I said, the only cards today that is worth selling, again, if you have any of these cards, the market's going to be pretty down today. But like the stories of the week cards, the rising the ranks promo, those are the cards if you want to sell that you probably could ultimately sell. But the rest of these cards, again, are going to see a massive decrease in value throughout today. And it's just to be expected, and it's one of those things when Malcom Jenkins is already falling below 400,000 coins as the best man cover corner in the entire game. Well, guess what? The entire cornerback position is probably going to drop a lot in price as well. And I feel like same thing at like the quarterback position. We have so many different great quarterbacks in the game that it's impossible for the quarterback position to stay high in price. For example, Willie III. I love this card as far as a man cover corner. I think he's one of the best man cover corners in the entire game. But when you got a guy like Jenkins added into the game, it's going to be hard for his price to stay as high as it is. And so those are the things that I would kind of be looking at today. Again, as far as LTDs, guys, those are the cards that I always think are, I don't even want to call it safe, but are somewhat like okay to buy. So let's say, for example, obviously, RG3 came out, but let's say Toby Gerhart, right? If you find a Toby Gerhart today, and if you want him, obviously, that's a situation in itself. But if you find a Toby Gerhart today for under, let's say, like 300,000, which you probably won't, but if you do, I wouldn't mind buying him, right? I mean, he's an LTD. He's going to be out of packs in a little bit. So I don't really mind that purchase if that's where you want to go. Same thing at like the strong safety position. Again, these cards are going to be pretty high in price, but Farrell, his price is probably going to hold pretty firm for the foreseeable future. But yes, the auction house today, buyer's market. If you want a guy like Jameis Winston, definitely today is the day that I would, target picking him up. Running back position, if you want Caleb Johnson, there's one right here for 115. I think that's a fine value to pick him up at, but the list goes on and on. Same thing for any of these new Legends cards. Like I said, with Braylon Edwards, his price is going to go way down throughout today. And I love him for his value. 91 speed, does everything at a super high level. So that's kind of where I'm at with the cards, is find what cards work for you today. But yeah, the auction house is an absolute buy opportunities for you guys. And and we saw that all week, with the overall bump. It is kind of, I don't even want to say to be expected, but it kind of is to be expected. We saw an overall bump, which obviously, should mean that the market overall is going to get cheaper. And even a guy like Benjamin Morrison, a guy I like, he's now below 250. And I like Benjamin Morrison. I've had the card forever. But again, he's barely better at this point than Malcom Jenkins. And if you run man coverage, he's not even better than Malcom Jenkins. So those are the things you've got to consider with today's obviously drop. And considering who to buy, who to sell. To me, Braylon Edwards, Darqueze Dennard, and Hunter Henry, those are the three main guys that I would say today are great buys. Guys that should hold their value for the next week or so. Like Hunter Henry for 56,000 coins. I mean, good luck finding a better tight end for 56,000 coins. The card is elite. He's got 90 speed, great route runner. Just does everything at an insanely high level. So market today, definitely a great buying opportunity for you guys. That's going to wrap it up for our video. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.